Welcome back. So I have a little mix of items. There's really only 3 packages I got in the mail, all very inexpensive, fortunately, including one I was surprised at how little it went for on eBay. But we have a nice mix of vintage items, some autos, some things I'm going to be selling, some things I'm going to be adding to the collection. But first off, this went for so cheap I had to get it. 2011 Topps short print diamond anniversary Hank Greenberg. So just a fantastic looking modern card when Topps had the rights to have Greenberg cards. So that was the probably the cheapest one. Everything else, and keep in mind, all these were $20 and under. Some of them were $5, some of them were, I think, $1, like this card. But everything was under $20. So next up, we have a government postcard of Sid Gordon, 50s Jewish player, 1952. Nice clean auto there. This surprisingly went for cheap. Did not expect this. Nice clean Carl Hubble government postcard from 57. And this is an interesting one. This is a Ralph Kiner check with a 10 auto. You can see up there. A very nice clean auto from his checks, which had the Shea Stadium address on it. But the really interesting thing is it's made out to Barbara Kiner, who at the time was his ex-wife. So curious to know whether it's an alimony payment, whether it was for something else. I don't know. But Ralph Kiner check from 1987, made out to his ex-wife. This was one lot, 2 album pages, and it was listed as Wes Farrell and Rick Farrell kind of combo. But what I noticed about it is you have The Mistaken Jew of Buddy Meyer, and you have Sid Cohen, Andy Cohen's brother. So again, all of these items, this is one lot, under $20. I'm okay with having a couple album pages and kind of throwing it into the PC in this case. So pretty clean on the back. But the biggest item is not signed, and it's kind of unassuming. So this was listed as a New York Yankees scorecard. Let me zoom out a little bit here. New York Yankees scorecard with Greenberg was in the listing as having a hit. But for those of you familiar with baseball history, if you dig into this a little bit, this program is from June 17th, 1939. Yankees won the game 1-0. If we open it up, you can see the lineups. So New York, you have Crosetti, Rolfe, Heinrich, DiMaggio, Dickey, Selkirk, Gordon, Dahlgren, and Red Ruffing was the pitcher that day. On the Detroit side, which is why I added it to the collection, you have McCoskey, Averill, Gehringer, Greenberg, playing first base. Higgins, Fox, Croucher, Tebbetts, and Newsom was the pitcher. So I enjoy it because I can add it as a nice vintage piece for the Greenberg collection. But as with a lot of my Greenberg items, I enjoy kind of the other aspects of the history of the game that can be found in those items. And the date rang a bell, and so I took a closer look on the Yankee side, actually. And if you look at the reserve players, the first reserve player is Gehrig. So Gehrig is listed on the bench, but those of you that are familiar with Gehrig and his timeline, or really baseball history in general, know that Gehrig wasn't in the dugout this particular day. Gehrig was undergoing tests and to see what was wrong. And it was during this period, it was during this series against Detroit, when he was diagnosed with ALS. And 2 days after this particular game, that diagnosis would be revealed to the public and Gehrig would retire. So, yes, I'm adding this to the Greenberg collection, and I'm happy to do so, not just as a unique piece during the prime years of his career, but also as a piece of baseball history. And which is why I was surprised at the listing that it did not mention Gehrig at all. So sometimes you have to take a look at pieces and do a little digging, because even though I was happy to bid on it initially, but having done that little bit of research of exactly when, what time in Gehrig's timeline this took place, I really wanted to add it. Surprisingly enough, because there was no mention in the listing itself, it went for $20. So a really nice piece of baseball history added to the Greenberg collection. That is tragic, yes, but it's part of the story of baseball. So that is the last piece I got, at least for this mail day. And I think it's a good way to round out this kind of mishmash of different items I was able to both add to the collection, I guess you could say also add to inventory. So that's what I got for you this time around. And until next time, please remember to collect what you enjoy what you collect, and don't let anybody, especially the market or YouTuber, dictate that to you. And most importantly, have fun. And have fun by being active in this community. So find your way of participating, whether it's making videos, watching and commenting, going to live streams, group chats, going to your LCS local card show, or simply talking about the hobby with family and friends. The more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. The more you'll learn, the more your PC will grow, the more people you'll meet, and the more fantastic friendships you'll form. So I thank you very much for joining me. Hope to see you again. Have a good one, and bye for now.